What is up, guys, and welcome back to the Squared Circle Addicts YouTube channel. It's me, your buddy Nessa, better known as GreatLove91 on Twitter and Instagram. And hi, guys. I hope you guys are doing really well. Sorry that I've been MIA. Not really that MIA. The last video I posted was a week ago. I've kind of been wrapped up and finally catching up in all the binge-worthy shows. Finally finished Stranger Things, and we finally finished Orange is the New Black. I know Orange is the New Black just came out not even a week ago, but Stranger Things has been out for a minute. It's just, that's one of the shows that me and my family like to watch together, so we were trying to figure out a time where we were all going to be together, and we finally got to do it. So, yeah, and then, of course, Orange is the New Black. Devastated that it's the last season, but if you guys want to talk more about that, feel free to hit me up on my social medias, because today, right now, we are here to talk about professional wrestling, because that is why you guys are subscribed to this channel, and that is what I love talking about the most. So for today's video, I actually want to talk about the state of women's wrestling, what I think of where it is right now, and is it quite possibly the best place that it could be at right now? Because I know in recent weeks, starting off with the WWE, in recent weeks, you know, us fans have been very displeased with how they are treating the booking of the women with like 2-minute matches. 19-second matches, I think, was the limit for Ember Moon and Charlotte. And so I think a lot of us were kind of like, oh my gosh, is this happening again? And we do what we do as fans. We went on Twitter and we tweeted our displeasure. And to be 100% completely honest, I think WWE saw that and said, oh crap, this is happening again. We can't let this happen again, especially with new competition coming up. So with that being said, right now, as it stands, we have three official women's matches for SummerSlam. 3. That is a record. And then with rumors floating around, it's a possibility of 4 women's matches. And all of these matches are WrestleMania worthy, and I think it's awesome that it's taking place at SummerSlam. Of course, one of the first ones being Bayley defending her SmackDown Women's Championship against Ember Moon. I am excited for this match, and I personally think that this match might have the possibility of being match of the night, simply because Ember Moon and Bayley are both fantastic wrestlers. If you guys know them from their NXT days, or even in their indie days, or even what they've been able to do recently in WWE, you know that these two are incredible. These two have never been foes before, have never faced before, and I am super excited because based on SmackDown, I think Ember might be going in it as a tweener, possibly even a heel, and the same thing can be said for Bayley. Not necessarily a heel, but kind of a tweener, because we've seen in recent weeks that Bayley has now added this new layer to herself where she's kind of more aggressive and she's keeping receipts, if you will. She's like, you know what, if you wrong me, then I'm coming after you. But if you're cool with me, we're fine. You know, and I respect you. And even if you do mess with me, I still respect you, but I'm gonna get you back. And I have loved this new layer that they have given Bayley, especially as a longtime Bayley fan, Davina Rose fan, Pamela Martinez fan. I'm just a fan all around. So that match is gonna be incredible. At least I think, especially if given a proper amount of time. However, there is those questions of, will it be turned into a triple threat match? Because last week on SmackDown, it was Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross taking on the team of Bayley and Ember Moon, and Alexa ended up pinning Ember Moon, and Corey Graves said she should be added to the match. Whether or not that happens is yet to be seen. I personally hope that it doesn't happen, because then if it does, then it leaves Alexa out of the rumored tag team title match for the women's tag team titles, which is essentially supposed to be Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross taking on Fire and Desire, Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, the Kabuki Warriors, Kairi Sane and Asuka, and then of course the champions, Iconics. That match is rumored. There's nothing confirming that, but I've been hearing talks about it on social media and stuff. So for what it's worth, it's at least in talks. And then, of course, you have the Raw Women's Championship being defended as Becky Lynch takes on Natalya, which I think is going to be a very technical type match, especially if, it ends up being a submission match. These two obviously have history stemming back from 9 years. Natalya was pretty much the person that kind of, helped Becky navigate through the professional wrestling world, especially in the indie days, and they feuded a little bit when they were both in Shimmer. But that was 9 years ago, and I feel like, a lot can change in 9 years, and their characters and their, movesets and styles of wrestling have definitely changed, and I definitely think if they make this match a submission match like they have been teasing since last week, I think we are in for a pleasant surprise in the sense of we are going to enjoy this match. I know there's a lot of rumors, a lot of speculations. The general consensus on Twitter is that Ronda Rousey is somehow going to be involved in this match and then, restarting that feud with Becky Lynch. I, however, am in the belief that it's not going to be Ronda Rousey, but it is going to be none other than the NXT Women's Champion, Shayna Baszler, and that's regardless if she drops to Mia or not, because I think that even if Shayna doesn't drop, I think WWE could do this thing where they have her come in as NXT Women's Champion to show that she's more of a threat to Becky Lynch. It's only been done once, and that's when Paige was the Women's Champion in NXT, and then she came and then won the Divas Championship and had both belts for a while, but then they let her get rid of one. But, so it's only been done once, so, I really do feel like it's a possibility. To me, it makes sense because Shayna would essentially be there to avenge her friend Ronda Rousey, because obviously Becky Lynch pinned Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. And not only that, but if you know your history, you actually would know that Shayna and Natalya are actually more tight-knit as friends than Ronda and Natalya are, because I know they played that up a lot on TV, but if you know that the real friendship is actually between Natalya and Shayna. So that's a possibility. Again, that's just my personal speculation. Whether or not that happens, I don't know. But if it does, you can bet your ass I'm going to mark out, because if you guys know me, you know that I'm a hardcore Shayna Baszler supporter. Love her so very much. So then there's that, and then of course you have the WrestleMania worthy match, arguably the greatest of all times, facing off in a match against each other as Charlotte Flair takes on Trish Stratus. It's like Charlotte Flair is arguably the greatest of this era, and then you have Trish Stratus, who's the greatest of the Attitude Era, and then right now you have Charlotte calling herself the greatest of all eras, and then there's an argument to be made with Trish Stratus, because Trish Stratus is a 7-time women's champion. Of course, Charlotte being the 9-time women's champion, breaking that record. But I definitely think this match is going to be a treat. I love the fact that it's in Toronto, which leads me to believe that Trish Stratus might actually go over. However, I kind of feel like maybe if Charlotte wins, this truly is kind of like a passing of the torch type moment. Either way, though, it's going to be incredible, and I don't understand how people can't be hyped for it. Charlotte's not in a title match, which is surprising, because she always is, right? And that's what we complain about. So now that she's not, and she's facing a legend like Trish Stratus, I think it's perfect. I think SummerSlam is the perfect stage for it. I'm excited for it. That's a match that, I can't wait to see. And then, of course, like I said, the rumors of the tag titles finally being defended. And if that happens, that'll be a total of 4 matches. Again, 4 on SummerSlam, and that's never been done before. And then not only that, but for the first time, a day before SummerSlam at NXT Takeover Toronto, we are getting 2 women's matches on NXT Takeover. And I know what you guys might be thinking. You might say, well, 2 women's matches has happened before, but not directly on Takeover, because yes, that's been a thing, but usually they air a week after Takeover, and it's not technically considered a main part of the Takeover pay-per-view. However, for the first time ever on August the 10th, it'll be 2 matches. Of course, we have our NXT Women's title match as Shayna Baszler defends against Mia Yim, which, by the way, I am stoked for, because if you guys have seen any of their matches that they put together on the Indies, or even the one that they did at the Mae Young Classic, I believe, well, obviously the first year, because Shayna wasn't involved in the second year, that match was incredible. So you guys know that they have great in-ring chemistry, which I'm super stoked for. But truthfully, I am more stoked for the one that was recently announced, as Io Shirai, a newly turned heel Io Shirai, will be taking on Candice LeRae. I have been a fan of Candice LeRae since her time in the Indies as the part of the world's cutest tag team, all the stuff that she did with Joey Ryan, and that freaking match between the world's cutest tag team and the Young Bucks. If you guys haven't seen it, go watch it. Do yourself a favor, go watch it. Candice LeRae comes out a bloody mess. It's absolutely freaking insane, and honestly, because of that, Candice has always been one of my favorites, and I was kind of salty, if you will, because in recent years, she wasn't really booked as anything in the women's division of NXT. It was more so of, you know, she's Johnny Gargano's wife, but now she has this, like, legitimate feud with Io Shirai, because Io Shirai turned on her and beat the shit out of her after she lost that cage match against Shayna Baszler. And then, of course, last week on NXT, you saw Candice LeRae come out and kind of return the favor and beat the crap out of Io Shirai. So now we have that match taking place at TakeOver. You know, and this is no disrespect to Shayna and Mia, because if you know me, you know that I love them. But I definitely think that Io and Candice are going to steal the show as far as women's matches on NXT TakeOver. I'm super duper excited for that. So, 2 matches on TakeOver, 4 matches on SummerSlam. WWE literally saw themselves being backed into a corner again, and were like, we don't want history to repeat itself. And not only that, but the last thing that I'm going to talk about in regards to WWE is they recently put out a trailer for WWE 2K20. I believe it comes out October 22nd. And in the trailer, it has a bunch of wrestlers like Hulk Hogan and the Velveteen Dream and Sheamus and Braun Strowman. And Roman Reigns, they're all in their suits. It's like a gala type setting, and it's really elegant and really beautiful. They're drinking champagne and stuff. And then, out of nowhere, the glass ceiling shatters. And this is super symbolic, guys. Like, literally, glass ceiling shatters, and then coming down from the rafters is none other than the man, Becky Lynch. And then she goes up to Hulk Hogan and says, sorry about your ceiling. And then freaking, I think it's a cookie. She takes a bite of a cookie and then, like, just throws it in the champagne glass. Goes up to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns looks at her and says, great job, man. And then they do a toast and they drink their champagne. And I don't know about you guys, but to me, that is very symbolic of Becky Lynch shattering a lot of glass ceilings this past year. I know there's a lot of argument that say that Ronda Rousey is the reason why they main evented WrestleMania, and some people say that it was Charlotte, some people say that it was Becky, some people say that it was a combination of everyone involved in recent years. That's the one I lean more towards on, but my whole point of this is there's a lot of people out there that don't like to admit that right now Becky Lynch, Rebecca Quinn, is the face of the WWE. And if that trailer did not show that to you or convey that to you, I'm sorry. I don't know how to help you. No disrespect, but you guys are just in denial. Like, literally, it was so symbolic. She shattered the glass ceiling, stood toe-to-toe with arguably the face of the company, Roman Reigns. He says, great job, man, and they do a toast. If that's not saying, hey, this is our face, this is who we want to represent our company, if that doesn't say that to you, I don't know what will. But I am so, so proud of Becky Lynch. Congratulations to her. She deserved it. I love her, and I hope that she is a Raw Women's Champion for a long time, just so people can get more angry. Get pressed, guys. But you know what? At the end of the day, she's making people talk. So that's the whole point, and I think that's what's great. So moving on from WWE onto Impact Wrestling. I know that's not something I mentioned that much on this channel, but it is something that I had to talk about because I am super stoked. Impact Wrestling's recent signee is Tenille Dashwood. Some of you might know her better as Emma, and I am super duper excited because let me be the first to say that when WWE let her go, I was pissed, and I legit thought, oh my gosh, WWE, you dropped the ball, because if you guys saw anything that Emma did when she was in NXT, you would know that to be true. Even the stuff that she did when she was evil Emma, and she was pairing up with Dana Brooke, that stuff was awesome. I was living for that, but then they cut it short, and I was just like, what are you doing? And then, of course, you know, Tenille Dashwood being in ROH and just cutting her teeth on the indies again. Like, not that she had to go back, but because she loves wrestling, that is what she did. And I think that by Impact signing her has been, it's a win. I definitely think that it's going to bring new eyes to the company, because a lot of people like to say that, like, TNA is the forgotten company, you know, no one really cares about it, but I think with Tenille being there, I think it's going to gain new eyes. And not only Tenille Dashwood deserves credit for that, but Tessa Blanchard deserves credit for that, because she too is making waves in NXT Impact. She has been put in a world title picture with Sami Callihan. Of course, they had their number one contenders match, I believe, 2 times at this point, and Tessa lost both, unfortunately. But I do think eventually TNA or Impact, is going to pull that trigger and be like, we want Tessa to be a world heavyweight champion, and I think that's going to be monumental for women's wrestling and for the wrestling business as a whole. I mean, we have seen, you know, women hold main titles before. Of course, China did it with the Intercontinental title, and then Sexy Star did it with a Lucha Underground title, and I know that's kind of, you know, Sexy Star is a little bit blacklisted, but it is what it is. She's part of that history, and I think Tessa being added to that history would be amazing, and I think it's the right time. And again, just with Tenille being signed, could you just imagine Tenille Dashwood versus Tessa Blanchard? Like, oh my gosh, give it to me. Please take my money. Not only that, but Tenille Dashwood versus Rosemary. I want it. I want all of it, and I'm super duper excited. So, kudos to Impact for signing Tenille Dashwood. I'm super happy that she's happy and healthy again and being able to wrestle. So that's awesome. I can't wait to see what she does. And now, last but certainly not least, I wouldn't say the best for last, but the one that you guys are probably wondering, why haven't you talked about it? Which is All Elite Wrestling. That's right, AEW just recently announced that on October 2nd, when AEW premieres on TNT, they will crown their first ever AEW Women's Champion. And oh my goodness, you guys, I am super stoked, because truthfully, this is the announcement that I have been waiting for. This is the thing that I was like, alright, but when are they going to focus on women's wrestling? And here we are, and it's happening on the debut of AEW TV, and I'm super duper excited, and you bet your ass I'm going to tune in just to see that, because I can't wait. And, you know, I know there's favorites within the company. There's Kylie Ray, there's Britt Baker, there's Nyla Rose, there's Leva Bates, there's Sadie Gibbs. I'm super duper excited to see where this goes, where this tournament goes. Of course, you have Brandy Rhodes. A lot of people like to say that Brandy Rhodes might be the one to win it. I hope that that's not the case, because then I'm going to be like, but you're doing the same thing that WWE is doing with putting people in power in championship, you know, slots. So I hope that that's not what happens. You also have Riho. I mean, there's just, it's so wide-ended, and like, there's so many possibilities of who could be the first AEW Women's Champion. For me, personally, I would love to see the Doctor, Britt Baker, take it. However, I also feel like they might save that moment for later, you know, because she's kind of like the face, the big baby face in AEW as far as the women go, and I think, like, they might use that as, like, a crowning moment for later down the line, and possibly give the title to a heel like Nyla Rose. I also would not be opposed to that, because I love her, not for just her wrestling style, but obviously the history that she's making, being the first ever trans woman to compete in a squared circle. So, I don't know, man, it's just really cool stuff, really cool shit happening all around, and it's stuff to be excited about. And man, guys, like, to me personally, regardless of, the mishaps that WWE has had in the last couple of weeks, I definitely do think that not just in WWE, but across the board right now is the best time for women's wrestling. And with that being said, I really hope Sasha Banks comes back soon. Mercedes, you're never probably going to see this video, but if you somehow do and you stuck to the ending of it, we love you. We freaking miss you. I miss you so bad. And you know what? Like, if WWE isn't the place for you and you want to sit on your contract for 3 years, if that's what's happening, because truthfully, I don't know. I don't know what's happening in your personal life, but just know that I love you. We love you. And regardless of wherever you wrestle, your fans will watch because you're the legit boss. Like, to me, guys, honestly, now I'm talking to you guys. In my opinion, I think Sasha Banks is the greatest women's wrestler of all time. Not Charlotte Flair, not Tessa Blanchard, Sasha Banks. And I know I might get a lot of dislikes. Maybe I might get a lot of thumbs up. I might get a lot of, comments. And that's fine. You can share them. But that's just where I stand. And with that being said, and what I just said about, wrestling being so great for women's wrestlers right now, I just really hope to see her back soon because I feel like she's missing out, and I just want her back. I don't know. Hopefully, maybe that's another rumor for SummerSlam. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to make this video really quickly to share my thoughts on women's wrestling as a whole right now. Again, I'm super excited for everything, not just in WWE, but for every company that I watch. And to be honest, I haven't been able to say that in a really long time. So, it's a good time right now for women's wrestling fans, at least in my opinion. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think that this is the best period for women's wrestling as a whole? Do you think one company is one-upping the other one? Let me know how you guys feel about Tenille Dashwood signing with Impact. All of those things. Let me know in the comments below. Of course, like and subscribe for more. I will be back here on Friday for your NXT Takeover Toronto predictions, and then hopefully on Saturday evening I will be releasing a podcast on the Squared Circle Addicts podcast, either way we're going to have a guest. I don't know who the guest is going to be because it just depends on other people's scheduling, but be on the lookout for that, for of course the SummerSlam predictions. And again, if you like what you see, please subscribe. Thanks for sticking around, and take care, guys. Stay happy, stay safe, but most importantly, stay addicted to the Squared Circle. Later, guys.